Okay, let's start off with roll call. Dan Roundhouse. John Estridge.
Here.
Bridget Hayes, not here. Curtis Ward. Rick Whitaker.
Here.
We do have a quorum. Okay, first is approval of minutes of the regular meeting.
Motion to approve.
John made a motion to approve
Second.
minutes from the April 15th meeting. Dan seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Curtis abstains. Next is the approval of claims. Total for the claims is $321,169.79. Is there a motion to approve the claims or any questions for Gina?
Make a motion to approve.
John made a motion to approve claims. Curtis seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Next is the payroll ending April 20th for a total of $55,929.53 with $4,566.19 of overtime. That was for the eclipse. Is there a motion to approve?
I make that motion.
John made a motion to approve. Is there a second? Dan seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Then first on the agenda is the Franklin County Youth Football Raffle memo.
So every year, the Franklin County Youth Football Board has to submit a letter to the Indiana Gaming Commission for their gun raffle, just giving them the dates of their weekly drawings and where those the drawings will be held, which is at their little concession stand building at 950 Mill Street. The first drawing will take place Wednesday, January 1st, 2025, and continue on each Wednesday throughout the year. The final drawing will be on Wednesday, December 1st, 2025. It is understood that the town of Brookville and the members of the Brookville Town Council are in no way involved with the operation of this raffle. And they will receive no compensation for the permission to use the facility. So basically, it's just you're donating use of that facility for the raffle.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the letter?
I make that motion.
John made a motion to approve the youth football raffle letter. Is there a second?
Second.
Dan seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Next is handicap parking on 11th Street.
I make a motion that we approve 2 handicap parking spots on 11th Street by the Morris property.
I think we should. Would you guys like to come up and speak?
Yeah, this is my wife Deborah. My name is Jimmy Moore. What we need is the parking, and that's the only parking we have. But we're thinking fitness. They already got quite a few parking spots where they take up when they have their meetings or where their exercise meetings. And then building on is going to increase it even more. And a lot of times when we leave, even if it's for a grocery store, the times they have to come spots is taken. We have nowhere to park except way to the side. And that's why we needed that. Got back pain and stuff, disabled.
I got a lot of trouble with my body.
But because building on it's going to increase, or that's what they said, it could possibly increase their customers, and it'd be more of a. So that was the reason we wanted something, so we'd be able to park in front of our house.
And the ramp is on the 11th Street side.
Yeah, we got a ramp.
So have you been able?
was just hoping we could kind of get together to settle it. Come to together to get involved with it, to designate this just for you, this just for them, because, you know, once we do that, we're going to start to been able to, if you might be interested in just at least talking about it.
We're not all people that are here for class things. This is easily. If you have one person, be represented in this shape, living there, going to the right, have setting a precedent. Anybody can't come and request that they have, you know, a stick. Are they more qualified? If you give them that, so that's the only issue I've had is that I made this request in the past for someone who had no other areas to target.
It's a public street, that's all we hear. Anybody can park anywhere they want, it's not nothing we can do about it.
Do you have to consider putting a driveway in or not?
There's no,
Less than 15 feet off. Even on 11th Street side, there's nothing? No. They're right up against
The meeting was here when they okayed to change it to business, general business. I forget the lady's name, Christine, right? Yes. She said she had, of course, she had an issue. But he, I told him, I did not. Well, the agreement that they did, they asked her, people that did that before the customer.
Just like to offer and help negotiate between the two, because you never know, we might be able to come up with an agreement where it's again, I'm just offering to figure out the easiest way possible for both. I mean, it's a small town, we all know each other, we're all friends. I feel like if, you know, both sides come together with an open mind, that maybe we can figure something out. I mean, I would just like to try.
I don't know what I'm
thank you
That's
for,
where we get that.
I thank you for being willing to sit down.
Well, I make a motion that we approve the two private property,
To,
handicap parking spaces. To the property.
License plate. If we can get it. Then we would have to park.
Requirements. Does it meet ADA requirements, because if you put handicap spaces in and it doesn't meet ADA requirements, it opens the town up for liability.
It has now because we pay a lot.
And their sidewalk meets ADA requirements, everywhere else anybody can cross right there.
It is. Which helps me when I place it.
And there's not an ability on the back side of your property where that shed sits that you could put a driveway in there.
We sit right on the corner on our backside. There's just a walkway. That's it.
so when you put an ADA parking spot, it has to be a not a requirement for regular parking, like, how does that, is that, at least on 6th Street, I know, right there would be two different ADA parking, but it's not real close to the corner, it's like pretty. Would you want to table this until we actually get the specifics on the footage and all that kind of stuff? Make sure everybody's okay with losing for this specific.
And I'm concerned since they did. This was both sides. He said they
We can get to that quick as possible. I mean, it's cold cuts. We can't.
Is there a second to John's motion? North House?
Would be a problem. If it's a handicap spot, it doesn't say Moore's parking spot, it says handicap. So if they were to pull out, go to the store, and somebody with a handicap sticker parked in there, it just is what it is. But you've got a business over there that possibly has a handicap, some kind of handicap person, they park it, but as long as they got their handicap sticker, they can park it. I don't see a problem because it doesn't say parking only for,
Oh, yeah, I know. I just wanted to know that if there was, just a lineage and stuff, just so that specifically what we're approving, because I think, I'm not sure we know that for sure. So, okay, any more discussion?
I would like to see the standards first to make sure that it meets that guidelines. I know we looked into doing this when we did the Main Street project, and some of the spots we wanted handicapped, we couldn't do because there are standards to meet ADA. So I don't want to promise somebody something, have them marked, and then somebody quickly park there and then sue the town because there are people that look at stuff.
Well, seem pretty sure that we could do it there.
As long as someone, if there would be a condition on that, that said that this approval subject to prior, release from Andy and Tim once they've reviewed those standards prior to making the ADA. I just don't want to make a quick decision tonight that all the acts have to reverse that or something happen in the next 2 weeks that, I get what Rick's saying about it. It's not being private parking, it's open for public. And I can use that as a justification.
I don't think it would be a problem, no matter what it is, because they have enough frontage on those street side to take 2 parking places.
Right, before they designated the blue stripe, and they realized they have to move it, move the blue striping in the meantime. I'd rather get a release from Andy and 10, and once that release is done, they install the
So
meeting.
Andy and Tim can tell Rocky how big to make it. All we're doing is approving 2 spots.
Right, subject to approval, review by, that's all of that has to be.
Yeah, they say, Andy can tell them how big to make the spots, but
And if there's an issue,
there'll be a problem with that.
So is the motion on the table for 2 handicap spots contingent on Andy and Tim's looking at the laws and regulations?
Just how big it's to be, because it'll fit there and won't be on anybody else's, by anybody else's.
So there's
Can I
a,
ask why we need 2 spots?
sure, this is discussion.
Huh?
We got to, we get.
I know, but you're not going to both of them at the same time.
No, but they use both of them.
But again, we're not, if they keep one there and then maybe park the other one around the corner or something. Kind of meet us halfway on this.
Probably not.
Sounds legit.
I'm going to keep my original motion for 2 spots.
So Dan, do you keep your second?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a motion on the table for 2 spots contingent on Andy and Tim. Is there a second? Rick seconded. Any more discussion?
What size is it? Okay.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed for 2 spots contingent on Andy and Tim, so you guys can get back. Motion passed. Next is the building permit for Brian and Tanya Wertz.
It's Tanya.
Tanya.
That's what happens all the time.
All the time. A few years back, the gentleman came to our house, offered if we wanted to buy the lot next to our house, and nobody could build. We had no whatsoever, but circumstances changed. My mom passed away. We have 2 storages at White's Farm. So we went to Franklin County Building Department first and asked if we could put storage on that lot. They checked into it, they called. Then we hired Rob to survey and stake the property. Then we put storage pods on there, which he knows. We were asked to get rid of them, we did.
Immediately.
He said put a pole barn there, maybe put a garage. We don't want a pole barn, we don't want a garage. We're down to just a shed. I think it's a 10 by 20 shed. And then we do need help with IDOT. If you could help us get the 30 miles.
It's 40 miles an hour through there.
Well, it is at the sign of Brookville where
Yeah.
the Pizza King is. If we could say where Brookville begin 30, I think that would put.
With IDOT and stuff, or INDOT, whatever
We're
it's called.
dealing with them right now still.
Yeah, and they said if we could get it lowered, they would help us be able to put a driveway there. There's a foundation there.
Did Rob
There
send
has
you
been some type of building before we
Yes,
got here.
there was a store there. That is correct. So it always had access to 52.
That's what we're trying to put a storage there, is so that we can save money and not have to.
Get
have
rid of
storage
White's
units
Farm.
and
We have
stuff,
2 of them at
and have
White's.
everything closer to our house.
Yes.
So my question last week is Rita, Steve was here to explain that you guys are coming, which is great. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
I wanted to make sure that, because the lot is gravel, and I think did it not say that you could not have a driveway? Is that what they, okay.
They did. Because they got this notion that, well, you own the lot next door, right through your back, and that way you can just come in. Well, right now, Cliff is, where we want to put the culvert. That's all 100 foot away to the lot. Put it in concrete, too.
And there's not access back there, there's a retaining wall, because it's all back.
Oh, it would cost thousands.
So to try to do a driveway back there would be like right up against our house.
Right against
and then
the
worry about
garage.
the hill coming down and everything else. So that's why we're trying really hard to get the driveway there, but even having the storage there, we can still access it from our house. It's just getting the storage there first. That's why we would still like to have the driveway to make it easy.
But I still think where it says coming from Metamora, where the sign says Brookville, right at Pizza King, I think it should begin 30 there anyway. It shouldn't be 40 in that area.
Yeah, so that means NDOT is amenable to you, if the speed is reduced, that you could put a driveway in?
Yeah.
Is that the case?
Yes.
They have talked about saying if we could get it lower down to 30.
Rob's
they would
been
be
helping
more
us
open.
do this.
Yeah, Rob Seeg has helped a lot with this and stuff, so.
Okay, so my only concern was if we approve this, that you would use that area as a driveway now without having the NDOT permit.
Well, we don't need to right now. We can access it from our
I just
house.
wanted to get.
I gotcha.
Your verbal that says we will not be doing this.
But will you help us with the speed limit? Will the town get behind us and help us get this lowered to 30 at the Pizza King?
Well, I can't speak for the council on that. I think that might be something different. I just wanted to make sure.
Please. I agree. We were shocked when, because we went to Franklin County Building Department, I did, and I said, okay, I'm ready for my culvert permit. And they sent me to Franklin County Highway. Franklin County Highway sent me to the towns. I believe I talked to Heather, who sent me to NDOT, and then I called her. She goes, we only work 410. I'll get out there, I'll call you back. She goes, well, we can't really help you. The speed limit's 40, and we don't want to be responsible. That's how she left it. The
So
speed
that's why
limit.
we have not put a driveway in there. We took it out when they told us to take it out in the time frame that they gave us.
Yes.
And we'll not put one back in until we have approval from them to be able to put one in there.
Correct.
I
Because we
figured that's what
would
you were-
love to be able to put our code on
Yes.
there.
Here, because I don't want people to start complaining, hey, they're using it as a driveway.
No.
No, we're not going to. We want to pay the permit. We want to do it right. Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any questions?
There doesn't make sense to be faster.
A lot of residential, that's still. We sit out there a lot and it's, drive their, go into CVS and go up on the curb and everything else, so we've
right-
seen some very crazy.
Right now, when you pass Cliff, right at CVS is where it says 30. We're just asking this. And that'll solve all of it. Help us a lot. These other, the lots.
Sorry.
At Cliff, it's 30?
Yeah, right. There's a speed limit
Right when
sign
you
right there at
pass it.
CVS, 30.
That's fine.
Exactly. Thank you. Please. Appreciate it.
Is there a motion to approve application number 1007 for 44 Metro Road to put a 10 by 20?
It's
Yes.
actually, because that's our
Oh, it's
house,
46.
it has its own separate address.
46 Metro
Okay.
Road for a 10 by 20 shed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Person made a motion to approve, is there
I'll
a
second.
second? John seconded, all in favor? All opposed?
Thank
very
you.
much. This is good for 1 year.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Thanks.
Tim, is there somebody at NDOT you can email that would express the support of the council in lowering the speed limit in that area from 40 to 30?
Probably Brown.
See that?
Yes.
I know that Rob was also emailing someone and asking the same question, so I don't know if Rob would have that answer.
Today about a letter?
Not today.
You must not have finished it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Settle.
Yes.
We're good.
All right.
Thank you.
Everyone have a good night.
Me too. Next is door ordinance. So,
I updated the ordinance today, Bridget indicated that Midtown decided to not participate as a designated permittee, so the ordinance in that reflect that. As far as the churches, I know you said maybe on the 8th they were going to try and.
So they're having a meeting, yes, on the 8th to discuss this, and I believe Main Street Brookville's going to be there to help explain what the dealio is. And we'll kind of go from there. I think they suggested submitting a letter of, not a letter of support, but a letter of non-opposition.
Yeah.
And after talking to the Alcohol Tobacco Commission, the agent that's in charge of doors, she said this has happened before with other churches, that they don't want to say they support the door, but they don't want to oppose the application. And so we'll need those letters as part of the packet. And so I think depending upon the May 8th meeting, we might want to hold off on this again to see what happens. Or I guess, I don't know if we can approve this, Andy, contingent on the letters, or because the other wrench that I found out today is that Nixie's does not have a permit yet. And they're listed on the ordinance.
Right, and the way I drafted the ordinance, I think that was how Batesville might have said it this way, where it is the proposed and or potential designated permittees. Because I think Curtis had brought that up, that Nixie's did not have the permit, but they are maybe working on it. And that's that verbiage came from, I think it was Batesville. Batesville's the main church.
How easy is it to add later on?
We just need that, and we don't have to redo the ordinance. This is just the first thing that we do with everything else.
Sean Cook is not necessarily good on the businesses. But yeah, there's a, I think I shared when there was a letter of no objection that had been shared with me, which is basically what you're saying, not like, hey, we want this to happen, but we don't object to this happening.
Right.
If you need me to send that to you can just let me know.
So am I correct, Andy, that the council tonight has an opportunity to sign this contingent?
I would say so, because if you approve the ordinance tonight, it's going to get the ordinance number. Then if the church sign a letter of no objection, now we've got an ordinance with a number on it that doesn't go anywhere. Just to make sure. And there also is, if they have any concerns, we still have an ordinance in draft form. If there's some concerns that we can address in the ordinance form, then we would still have that opportunity.
I see. Wonderful. So Gina, hopefully next time, we'll put this on. Okay, next is the Historic Preservation Commission appointment.
Oh, real quick before you go on, I emailed you guys this, so I will not be at the next meeting. So if you do, if there's anything, I leave town the 17th. So I'll be working with the needs to change them for you guys to have to consider it on the 20th, assuming we get this letter. Because I'm leaving morning on the 17th.
Thank you. Historic Preservation Commission appointment, we had two just canceled, and I think that two candidates, sorry, and so we didn't have a majority vote at our last meeting. So would anyone like to suggest a candidate for the Historic Preservation Commission appointment?
I make a motion for Rebecca Hamilton.
Does anyone have any other candidates to suggest for this position? Well, see, the way the council does it is you put both candidates out there. I recommend this, I'd like to put this candidate out there, I'd like to put this candidate, and then we vote on each candidate, so we all know that we have.
Just
Okay, so we have two candidates for this appointment, sorry. So let's vote on the first one. So the first candidate is Rebecca. All in favor of Rebecca? All opposed? No abstains.
This could happen every time. Okay.
All in favor for Jess Hansel? All opposed? Okay. Do you abstain also? Okay. Now what, Andy? Now what do we do?
I mean, Jean, break. If we're treasurer, we break ties. And sound good. You don't have to. I don't know. I mean, you don't. I assume you don't have to abstain unless you have conflict. Sounds Yeah, and I think we would be right to say.
I mean, the only reason I say Jess is because she's extremely familiar with the commission, and she is not trained, which I thought at our last meeting, I thought she had been trained with camp, but she is not. But she does want to get trained, and she wants to give back to the community in some way. She's not on any other commission, and Rebecca is, and so I just thought to share the wealth and to get more people involved with what we're doing, I think is better for the
Becky has an interest in.
Do we have to?
No, you can only have one. But as more, I mean, if people come off of the commission, we obviously can, get more people in if anyone else leaves or they don't want to, answer every 3 years. So whenever the next one's up, if that person doesn't want to keep going, we just get someone else. Or to fill it, so. Is there any other discussion or suggestions on what we do here? If not, we'll just, the motion fails and we'll just have to keep this to next week.
Was Jean break?
Oh,
I thought we were waiting on Curtis to break the tie, but.
No, it's two.
We waited for Curtis to see if we could get a majority vote.
Oh, a majority.
Yeah, that's two.
Okay.
And, I mean, I would say Jess Hansel has the experience of the commission already in place. So if Rebecca, maybe, I would say my choice would be Jess Hansel just for the fact that she has prior experience.
So, those for Jess Hansel,
No, I think it is.
okay.
Oh, so do I have to say
Yeah,
or vote or just say what I said?
I think.
You just reported the minutes what you said.
Right, yeah, your choice would be
Jess
just,
Hansel.
so that would be 3.
So 3 to 2, Jess Hansel, and then hopefully Rebecca will, if another person leaves, we'll ask her if she wants to serve that person leaves. Okay, thank you. Next is the right-of-way ordinance. Andy, I think you're.
So, I don't know that there wasn't anything changed with the ordinance, but I think Tim did share a document from the county with some highlighted stuff that he would want added to the agreement.
I don't necessarily, if you don't feel that all that's needed, you don't have to put it in there, but I just brought it up for consideration. Those are the points that I saw that might be important to the town. And also, I read in the ordinance that the contractor has to bring in what do you call it, a plan for whatever he's doing, and actual excavation, fill material, things like that. I mean, I don't know exactly. Or it can just be, they can be notified as they submit a plan that this is the way it has to be.
So are we considering adding more specifics and details in the ordinance itself? Is that what?
I think unless we want to add in that 154 to it says construction plans must be submitted to the town's supervisor and superintendent for review and approval. Do you want to add language in there that the plans must include, I don't know, if remedial work is, what would you call that?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it has to be in there or if it should be in there.
I mean, it can.
I mean, it already says construction plans must be submitted to the town.
Yeah, what we're talking about is we want to ensure that once the work's completed, that they're, paving back or whatever. And so that's what I was saying, we could put that in there in that A2, that the plans must also include, but again, I don't know that remedial work is the correct phrase, but, close it all back up.
Yeah, we want it to look like what it looked like before as close to what it looked like before they started. I mean, I'm not sure what happened on Franklin Avenue, but there's a big divot in there that, somebody took it off. Not 11, I'm sorry, Franklin. Close to your house. That big, huge square on Franklin.
I think that was up.
We took that out?
Where, around that?
I think it was the work that Rocky had them, no out.
He's out of there.
Pretty good size. Okay, I thought that was.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has some work on that.
That was a big pop.
Okay, yeah, I think the main concern when I talked to Tim and Rocky is just making sure that we know who's working on our streets and they fix it back once they leave. That's pretty much the basics of what's supposed to be about. So I think adding something in about fixing it back, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but.
So what about construction plans, comma, including finishing measures upon completion of the work?
Sounds good.
So I think number 5, what I had highlighted, preservation, restoration, cleanup, and maintenance would cover, that pretty much covers our streets plus any neighborhood yards that they might mess up while they're digging or anything like that. They have to put it back the way it was.
Yeah, so I think if we add that, construction plans, comma, including finishing measures upon completion of the work, must be submitted to town's utility supervisor, street superintendent for review. I think we add that there, and then if you like the language, that's separate.
It doesn't have to be just whatever you think would cover.
Better to have more than not enough.
Okay.
And then the only other question was, so 15403, again, when we did this in Rising Sun, the idea was to put the street commissioner in position to be able to grant these permits without all of them having to come in front of the county or the city. So it says delegation of authority, it would either be does not include or includes the power to execute the agreement, whichever way you want it to be. If it does not include the ability to execute the agreement, then that means all the agreements are going to come in front of the town council. Or they can be reviewed by Tim and Rocky and they can sign off on it.
I say it doesn't include the power.
Does include?
I think that they can approve these.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we want them to approve
Yep.
those. So it does include the power to execute the agreement for issuance of right-of-way work permit on behalf of the town. And then there's $100 right-of-way work permit fee that'll be new for us, right? Okay.
Did you guys do the property owner's thing? Thing the state was put in last year.
I would.
Okay, that's fine. I had a couple people do it. I don't know what it's done for, but it's to try and help spur broadband development. But that language is in there in case the town is.
Do we table this until we get a clean copy next time?
So I think if you want, and if everybody's comfortable with moving forward with the ordinance, you could motion, you can suspend the rules and go first reading if you want, through reading as amended if you want, or we can bring back a clean copy next month. Next meeting, the only change would be like I said, added language to A2 and 154.02 about including finishing measures so that we know that they're going to put things back, and then in 154.03 it would say that that the utility supervisor and street superintendent would have the ability to execute agreements.
Do we have to advertise this because there's a fee associated?
After it's approved.
Has to be posted 30 days.
Before we execute. So how does the council feel? Would you like to, is there a motion to approve the amended version, or do you want to table to get it all cleaned up? Anybody?
I think we can do the amended version.
So motion to approve. So let's first motion to suspend the rules. To suspend the rules, is there a second? All in favor? All opposed? Motion unanimously passed. So now.
I make a motion for the resolution as amended.
Ordinance.
Ordinance,
As amended.
and number would be 2024-6. Motion to approve ordinance 2024-6, which is an ordinance establishing regulations for the right-of-way work permit that allows our street and utilities department to right-of-way work. Is there a second? Rick seconded, all in favor? All opposed, motion carried. So a place for all.
I mean, I'll have an updated one, signature page. So if you just want to execute a signature, copy to Gina. B says it will be effective after publication as required by law, is what I put that in. And I'll get those things that Tim Blanks added into that agreement too. We'll start using that agreement in 30 days.
Thank you. Next for new business, we have building permit number 1009 Jennifer Wolfram. This is for 315 East 5th Street for lean-to and the garage. I'm not sure of the dimensions. 24 feet. Let's see, 14. I think it's 14 feet by something. Anyway, it's on the garage. Oh, yeah, 31 there. 31 foot 9 inches by 14 feet by 6 inches. I think it's on yours. Does it meet the setbacks, Tim?
Yes, it does.
Any questions on the permit?
Motion to approve.
First made motion to approve the permit. Is there a second?
Second.
John seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Next is resolution 2024-4, amendment to the BOT agreement. So,
Andy, did you have a chance to review that correctly?
Yeah, I looked through everything today. It sounded like I caught the same thing as Bridget caught, but about the resolution. Happy to have, that Brenda was able to get back and give us some information. I can't imagine what it was like coming home to 600 emails from vacation, but
increase the amount of money that we're spending to renovate this building for the town hall side, and also additional upgrades to the police department side, adding a restroom. And so what we're doing is we're increasing the purchase price cap from $800,000, which is the original agreement that was signed back in 2021, to $1.1 million to account for the additional scope of the project, which is consistent with the build, operate, transfer agreement to begin with, as it was written very generally. The project was, which is renovate the building. And so now that we're moving the town hall portion in there, we need to allocate the respective funding to cover all the construction. So this is just up to $1.1 million. This doesn't mean we're going to spend all that additional money. It's just to cover us in case we don't think it's going to be that high, but it's better to go high than have to come back and amend it for a second time. Any questions on resolution 2024-4? So we'll be doing this resolution, and then the buildings facility will also be doing a resolution saying the same thing. And then the second portion of this is we will then amend the build, operate, transfer agreement reflecting the same dollar amount change. So is there a motion to approve resolution 2024-4?
I make that motion.
John made a motion to approve. Is there a second? Rick seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Curtis abstains. Motion carried. So next, like I said, is the amendment to the build, operate, transfer agreement. That basically just says the purchase price is increased by, and then I should write in 300,000. Sorry. Price is amended from 800,000 to 1,100,000. So once we sign, we'll get to him. And this is, I guess this is just from my signature. Is there a motion to approve the amendment to the build, operate, transfer agreement?
I make that motion.
John made a motion to approve. Is there a second? Is there any more discussion? The motion to the amendment, all in favor? All opposed? Curtis abstained. Motion carried. I did receive the updated estimate. Which I included in that packet. After their second. As far as on the police side. The new entry door. So that was increased to $114,950. And then we also replaced the double door with a new entry door on the town board. Accept those, or do you guys all agree by consensus? So, the police side is now $114,950, and that's correct. Okay. And so then there's another quote here for a door for $56.25. That's not included in the 114. Yes, that is included. So the last $5,000 entry there that says new entry door. He rounded the door itself. He did not include the electric string. Okay, onto that. Okay, so then we just need to make sure that 114,950 is what we all agree to for the police department side, right? Okay. And then for the town hall side, it's 49,000 plus the 58,000 plus,
Well, it was 49,000, right?
well, this is Brookville Town, 49,000. And then for the Brookville boardroom is 58,000.
Right.
And then 37,000. So, I guess, what money do we have left? So, if everyone recalls, we set aside, or earmarked, 100,000 for the town during our budget hearings, like last year. And now it looks like the town hall site is going to cost about 144 instead of 100. And then the police department side is going to be 114, or at least the 115, and how much money do we still have at the top there?
It was right around 139, I think, the last time we looked, a little over.
Okay, so that part is covered.
So the total project, even with those small invoices, when I spoke to Greg, he had about $1,500 that he needed to submit for payment. So I came up with all of this, if you include everything, the new heat, and then the new entry doors, and then the addition of the toilet and sink, I came up with like $280,866.41. And then we had 139, so it leaves roughly about a little under 142 left. And we had 100 already from that.
So that means we're going to have to take 40,000 out of, let's just pretend we approve this, where would that come from?
So we have a little bit in handicap improvement, which we can use, and we also have some in riverboat rainy day we can use.
So handicap rainy day. Because we're also about to talk about spending more money for the water line replacement as well.
Yeah.
But it's different funds.
What's that?
One of them's from Edit, but this is already understanding when I spoke to Baker Tilly, he already knew that we had already budgeted the $100,000. Well, after I asked him about that, he was still comfortable with an additional. Sorry.
That's okay. So just on the same page, the next item on the agenda is the US 52 water line replacement, which is going to cost around $340-ish. It's a rough estimate that we have. What Baker Tilly has suggested that we do is we take 100 out of TIF, which depending on if redevelopment agrees to that, it's in the TIF district.
There's a consensus to agree to that.
Okay, I didn't think you guys had done yet. So
We haven't met, there's a consensus.
okay. Great, and then he mentioned 150 out of edit, which would be an additional appropriation out of edit, and then the rest of it would be out of the water operating fund, which we, I guess, have some there. So I just want to make sure we knew that those were the numbers for the next project before we consider this, so that everybody understands. If we take this, we're taking our allocations basically for making and we're using it for the Zimmer building, or for the new town hall, in addition to our 100,000 that we agreed to during budget time to take out of edit. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the funding for the finishing of the town hall and the police department?
What do I need to make a motion for?
Well, who has authority to add stuff? Meaning like, new door here.
That's what we're deciding right now.
I understand who had the initial concern.
I think it's odd to initially let it. Because number one, there's not a restroom on that police department sign. They would be crossing through ours to get, our building to get to the other side. And I think the new on the police side, I didn't think was in good shape.
charging station, I heard, and who has control of that work stuff? We're talking about a canine kennel, to get a dog, and all these kind of things. And is that figured in anybody's, and I know we have the final say, but should we limit the people that have input in this thing?
Well, I think that would be, personally, I just consider that as the secondary tier of stuff that we need to get to fill the building. I know we definitely have the authority to say, yay, nay, new chair, or take your old chair and deal with it until it falls apart. That's our decision to make. Whether it's and this or that, that will be up to us, whether we expend those funds or not. But this right here is just the building even ready for us to even walk in there or use it, just because it's just construction. So that's all that conversations that we're going to have. We'll probably have conversations about, what do we put in the public meeting room and what kind of chair do you want? Chairs that are $10 or chairs that are $50? We're going to be having that conversation all year so we can get it so that it's a.
But is that money anywhere?
No, that money is nowhere. The only money we're talking about right now is right here. And so I think this is pretty bare skeleton crew, bare bones, use what you've got and deal with it and hopefully be able to improve as time goes on. Is that what should be? But we need to decide, do we want the boardroom? Do we want the new heat? That's what I'd like to really talk about tonight. Do we want to do the new heat for $37,000, or do we want to live with the old heat and put the new heat into next year's budget?
Well, the newest of the old heat, there's 3 furnaces, and the newest of the old heat is 30 years old. We're doing construction now. We've got all the tiles removed. Let's get everything in place for the heating and air conditioning. Right now, there's one thermostat, and it's on the lease side. That's going to be, men have one body temperature, women another, men with heavy armor and everything else. It's going to be 2 different temperatures. So let's get it done. Let's take care of it instead of 1 year later having to rip out everything, put it in, and it's going to cost us more and take more time while they're inside.
I'd say hold off on the town hall. That was always a stop on the wall side and then finish the east side out. You got a facility here that we're using free of charge. $17,000 on heat that you can put on that side.
I would agree with you if the administration building had been sold. If they put a 911, the county wants to put a 911 in there, we're at their demand since it's sold. It wasn't this sold.
We didn't sell it. That's when it's finished. It's open. There's no, that's whenever we vacate. If we don't vacate, so there's no transfer. There was never a primary vacate, so we were under no obligation to vacate that, other than the fact that the county wants it.
I don't know if they know that.
They do, they were right up and negotiated. That's why they haven't been able to press us to get out of there or meet their time frame. So if we're talking about where's the funds coming from, due to water line, that benefits the overall public. They on both sides of it until we have the funds next year.
Well, again, if we wait, we're going to have to take out what we're doing right now and do it. And it's going to cost us more. We're going to have people inside the building when it happens. It's going to disrupt the public coming in, having construction going on while it's there. It's going to disrupt the employees. I wish we didn't have the situation we have now, but we have to make the best of it. What's happened before is water and grid. We've got to do what we can. This is the best scenario to get done now to go on. We have for both the water project and this. We just need to get it done.
know, we need to get them, whatever it is, we need to do something in order to move forward.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve all, we'll just, all or some of this?
I
Or,
make a motion to approve all of it.
that includes the new heat and
The numbers you, the numbers you reviewed, Gina, includes
the
the.
280.
Correct.
Basically.
The numbers Gina reviewed includes the heat.
The heat and the
Yeah.
water.
The numbers Gina reviewed
Yeah.
including it.
So, and just to clarify, this, the funding for this, we do have in our budget this year. And if we pull from King Cap rainy day and use the 9,000 that we didn't budget for. The water project, we did not budget for. So that's a whole different conversation. So John made a motion to approve the whole kit, 280,000 for both the town hall side and the police department side. Is there a second? Rick seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Curtis abstained. Motion passed 3-1. Curtis abstains. Okay, so there's that. Next is the water line. So I briefly went over that, sorry, just to talk about numbers. Tim, do you want to talk about the specifics of that?
Yes, water main along Metamore Road or US 52 next to CBS. And as long as I've worked here, I've never touched that main. We really don't even know what the end of it is. And there are also lead lines that need to be replaced. It needs to be completely replaced from the intersection of 101 all the way to Butler, and I'd like to do it down Butler and put a flush hydrant on the end of it. And it would also accommodate another fire hydrant near the end of it also. We'd like to upgrade to a 6-inch main. There are about 15 on that main that need to be rehooked up to the new main. And in the spring of 2026, NDOT is going to come in and basically tear the whole area up, put storm sewers in, everything. And I would like to have this water main in place before they do that and before they pave. And that's kind of the urgency in getting this moving, is so that we get this water main in before they pave it. So.
People have looked for grants in this project, well, large to us, it's not large to the people that give up grants. So there's no grants still.
No, there's not.
You looked into the grants before
Yes.
for drinking water improvements?
Yes. So just to, if I didn't say before, the edit money that they used 150, we did not budget for, so we wouldn't be taking out of our cash reserves. And I hate doing this to you, but how much is in cash reserves for edit?
Oh, that's,
Thank you.
so when I sent my email back to Scott Adler, Baker Tilly, who were conversing with her, asked his recommendation. I explained to him that what we were planning on expending the rest of this year, what we have coming in per month, and asked him, based on our balance, would he still recommend what he suggested, and he said yes. Our edit fund currently is $453,201.35. So, we plan on spending the rest of what we budgeted for this year, the $100,000, that we are getting over $20,000 a month for edit. So I asked him based on that, would he still recommend that amount from edit? He said yes, that did not change his recommendations.
So that's a big chunk out of edit, Gina. normal thing that we do additional? Like how, I guess, trying to figure out how long it takes to get cash reserves at 450.
I mean, edit is one of those things that we have used for a long.
So this is. Any other questions about agreeing to move this project forward based as long as redevelopment motions for also contributing and then get this project started? Obviously, the next step we need is engineering design, but we don't want to start that right until we know we even have the money or that we agree to expend the money. So if there's no more questions, does anyone have a motion to that effect with this project?
I make a motion that we spend the amount that was set for amendment to help fund the water project.
John made a motion to approve the 150 that was suggested by Baker Tilly for the US 52 CDS water line replacement. And is there a second? So if there's no second, do you guys suggest something else? Do you not want to do the project? We kind of have to. And the rationale is to do the project before NDOT pays. Because if they pay, and then we do the project after that, we're just ripping up a wasting tax dollars to rip up the road.
The copper rules that have come out, we will have to replace these lines. And some of them, whether or not we have to replace more, but this is the last known area. Still has lead lines. We're going to be required to do this whether we want to or not.
Do you have any other suggestions on?
No.
Okay. Rick, any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Curtis abstains. Motion passed 4-0. Curtis abstains. Next is the CF1, which is a compliance with statement of benefits for the Valley House Flats and Whitewater Partners 10-year agreement. So this is the annual that we are approved that they're in compliance with their statement of benefits. They have to submit this form to the county every year in order to get their taxes. This agreement was signed back in 2018. Thank you.
So Bridget shared with me the advice that Lynn had given last year, which I would agree with. You can say they are in compliance, they are not in compliance, you can take no action of the council. This is a requirement for property owners to file with the county assessor, with the town doesn't. The 2018 the benefits, John had mentioned a couple of things that were included in there. I don't know if there were timelines on that, so I'm not in any position to say whether resolution that I haven't seen the statement of benefits, so I would just say to take no action on the form, because while there may be certain things that were promised, there, like I said, there might be a timeline on that. I'll bring these things to the
You said statement of benefits. I didn't really understand that, but Gina did email us a document from way this section 2, property improvements was handwritten. I don't know if you guys saw that. And it said, you know, describe the building itself, but also a restaurant. No, I did not see that. Where did you see that?
They're at the advertising.
Oh, okay, but
They're advertising today that the food's great. Ain't no restaurant there.
I think there's a different podcast.
No, it's good. And it says, for retirement there. They promise all over the west. Yes.
okay, I just wanted the official doc. I didn't know. Is that where you got your dates from this website? I don't know if we can hold an accountable for what they put on the website. I just know on that very first one, it did say restaurant. So that one, and I think I sent you the response from your church. So Andy, I guess my question is I just assume it's taking the benefits and listing out what they're required to do. And if we don't have a list of what they said they would do in 2018, how do we hold them accountable for something we don't really have right?
To do that project. I mean, the previous county council voted, I voted the tax abatement. However, in subsequent years, I've always supported giving them that because the council at that point in time had promised the developer substantially complied with everything on that except for the restaurant and his rationale during COVID and post-COVID with the restaurant's closings. It meets my expectations. I would vote to sign the form, the CF or whatever it is, CF1, and send it back because I think that the project, in hindsight, it was a really good project, and I think that.
The only other thing I would add, thank you, Curtis, was that on the original statement of benefits, it said that they'd have 15 employees, which I think was another, obviously great thing for tax abatement. We want to bring jobs into our county, and they're just reported 2 employees. And maybe this extra 15 would have been for the restaurant. Maybe, okay, just want to make sure that's what the original form said is 15. Vote.
What were our choices then?
To indicate on the form that the property owner is compliant with the statement of benefits, which I do see now where Gene instead of that. I was looking at that resolution that didn't have it attached. And it does not look like there are any deadlines on there. So sorry, to say that they are compliant with the statement of benefits, but they are not compliant with the statement of benefits or to take an action. You don't count as it's a may.
Well, I make a motion we take no action.
John made a motion to take no action on the 6 forms for Whitewater Partners and Valley House Flats.
That's the Curtis motion to sign.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't understand that.
Sorry, Curtis made a motion to sign and say that they're uncompliant.
But they are.
Are in compliance, I'm sorry. Is there a second to sign and say they're in compliance? Is there a second? Motion failed due to the lack of secondary motion, which is to not sign at all. Is that Dan second? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried, 3-1. Preserving Main Street Grant 5.
Sorry. Who's doing the construction portion has submitted payment requests. So their first request is the total of, they have, their first claim is $93,333.60. The grant portion of that is $88,666.60. And then the escrow funds from the property owners, the total from the local funds from that would be $4,667.
The very first draw, surprising considering the project is scheduled to be finished on the 1st of June. We were supposed to get a new end date for this last Friday. Line, I'm sure everybody. The goal of this is to get a new end date so that we submit one amendment to this project to the state for approval. We don't want to say, and again. So we're trying to figure out the best way to ask for it. There's been obviously delays on getting windows and doors and that kind of thing. This is the first draw is the concern as well. So, it's moving.
What's your recommendation on this?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we do that. I mean, we got it very time.
What happens if it's
I don't know. I don't care.
Carrie did not seem concerned with that.
I think it's one of the things, yeah. And I think I said, and they all have it is.
More than one extension.
Project dates.
And it's the contractor's doing the projection.
To approve the draw request for Bob.
Okay.
John, any questions? Next is bids for golf course number 5, golf course hole 11.
No, don't bring that up. No more problems.
Live. So we submitted the RFP for additional quotes.
I submitted to 4 email. Contracts getting where Harrison excavating. Tracking. Our copy.
So do I read this?
You can read it and then the notice, take them under for should it meet the council's approval, come back on the 20th.
This is from Ben Harrison for hole 11. Total amount is $71,000.96. So thank you to Ben Harrison for submitting the quote, and we'll take this under investment.
How much was the last bid that we did instead of?
83.
That's how I thought it was
83.
Okay.
75 to 80.
Yeah, one was with,
And this one,
sorry.
thank you. This one, it says concrete, it says 4 inches of concrete. 4 feet, 2 feet.
I hope it's not 4 feet.
Sorry, 4 inches of concrete. 35 yards. of the project start and end date is something he and Ron, if this is so approved with the contractor on when this will happen. 14. And we can do as well. Okay. Tim?
What's the
Phase one is done.
14 and then the phase 3. Yeah, the 1, 2, those are the ones that we can just. And then we did the rest.
way I have from everybody? And over in constituents, because we were not knowing we had that liability. I've heard of many situations where they have to rescue people out on a golf cart course with different golf carts. Turn around and do that one with somebody's ability.
I don't think they have a choice to actually replace some.
Well, I can address that. Yeah, we haven't had, we've got, nobody's going to get stuck anymore. We've seat covered every cart except for 13, which we will finish those. As far as the biggest problem is hole 11. Any other hole in the place is 100% fine. If we can get 11 done, then I'll be bringing this back to the board in the fall to try to set up some type of lease agreement, and I'll request again to agreement and get rid of the stuff that we don't want no more, and we'll sell them off. And I think that if we get level, I think the golf course is just going to just be even a lot more profitable based on the cart pass. One thing that has come up, the hardest surface on our golf fairways, and is the fairways. The hardest surface on our golf course is the fairways. The majority, I'm not going to say the majority, several big courses don't go in there rough at all. And that is completely opposite of what, but some of the, get you a list, they only do near the green cart pass. We don't, the fairway, we can drive right up the middle of the best surface to be on is the fairway. And I know a lot of people don't understand that, but I'll get you a list of golf courses that use just their fairway instead of using the rough. Down a golf course, driving through the rough destroys much worse than driving up the fairway. But there are different options, and I know a lot of people don't understand it, but I can tell you that the 6 or 7 city courses, they use the fairways, not the rough, because they don't want people driving in the rough.
Are you saying that driving a golf cart in the rough hurts the golf cart more?
No.
Or are you saying that hurts the fairway more?
No. The fairway is the one that's cut the lowest and much easier to maneuver a golf cart on. That's where you're going to get your dips, your divots, in that, of course, more than the fairway.
Well, we are talking about golf carts because for the future of the golf course is to lease some golf carts. And when we do that, we need options of how we use those golf courts instead of driving some of that was a drawback here. We almost was going to try, but our paths were so beat up that created two. So
I'm just prepared for July to talk about.
Yes.
All the sooner.
Well, July and August is all the. All right, sorry, that was.
Thank you. Anybody have anything else back to the agenda? I just have one thing. I thought that I had asked the council last year about applying to become a local government. And that has to do with the Department of Natural Resources. Does anyone remember when I asked about that?
Yes.
If it's okay, if we go ahead and apply for that? Okay. Okay, I wasn't sure, and finally got the application mostly together. There are two memos that basically just saying, here's an application, we support this project, we want to do it. And then the second memo talks about just out grants that we've had in the past. She said 12 months, but I just put 17 months because I talked about the town park, $333,000 from OBRA, and then the second project is the Preserving Main Street grant, even though it's old, but I just want to divulge all the information. So before I sign these, I just want to make sure that everyone's still on board with the certified local government. What that'll do is that will put us in a better light to get the historic preservation funding grant, which is my plan for the 634 Main Street, is to apply for that. Currently split to renovate that, to get funding to renovate, because it's a historic building, because it's 100 years old. So I just want to make sure it's okay to sign these two. Okay. That's all I needed, and I'm not sure when we'll be able to get the application in, hopefully, for preservation. But it might not be until next month, but the council is required. That's all I have. Anybody have anything else? Does anyone have any comments from the public?
I already did what I did.
See no further business to come before the board, I'll take a motion to adjourn. For a second, all in favor? All opposed, motion carried. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you so much.